You don't pay to enter the New Forest. You never have. But for most people arriving by car, you'll now have to pay to access it. Because as of April 2026, all 129 car parks managed by Forestry England, the organization that manages a large proportion of the publicly accessible land here, have started charging. And the body charging you? They don't run the national park. The National Park Authority has no say over this scheme and receives none of the money. So where does the money go? Forestry England isn't a private company. It's a public body managing public land, already funded partly by tax, now asking for direct payment on top. Across England, Forestry England generates over £90 million a year in income through timber, land use, commercial activity, and now parking. They say all income is reinvested, but not necessarily in the forest where it was raised. The National Park Authority has formally asked for that guarantee. They're still waiting. Forestry England has not published a clear projection of how much the new forest charges will raise. A rough illustrative estimate, not an official figure. If around 4 million of the estimated 15 million annual visitors pay an average of £3 to £5 to park, that's somewhere between 12 and 20 million pounds per year. That's a significant sum, with no clear local ring fence. And if you try to avoid the charges by parking elsewhere, temporary no-waiting restrictions have been introduced on over 100 roads across the forest. For many people, that makes access significantly harder either way. There is an annual membership, £96 a year. For frequent visitors, that may be reasonable. But for a family already stretched, or someone visiting occasionally, that's another barrier. And to be fair, Forestry England does important work. They manage over 250,000 hectares of land, one of the largest conservation land holdings in the country. They've been a key partner in reintroduction projects like white-tailed eagles and pine martens, and over half of England's rarest species are found in forests like this one. The work matters, the funding pressures are real, but so are the consequences of how we solve them. The UK is already one of the most nature-depleted countries in the developed world, and access to nature isn't just a leisure activity. Research led by Forest Research, part of the UK government, estimates that access to woodlands is worth around £185 million a year in mental health benefits alone. That includes fewer GP visits, less medication, and improved well-being. If access to nature measurably improves health and reduces pressure on the NHS, should access to something that improves health depend on what you can afford? Because the people most likely to be put off by charges are often the same people most likely to benefit from being here. This isn't just a nice place to visit. For many people, this is the closest thing to escape. This is something that is genuinely good for you and your family. The funding pressures are real, but so is the question, are we solving one problem by creating another? If access to nature matters to you, send this to someone who should see it.